We continue with Zang Organs, part 2 of spleen. Governing ascent of the clear. Ascent refers to the upgoing motion of spleen qi, while the clear means the essential substances, including qi and blood. There are two aspects of the spleen function of governing ascent of the clear. The spleen qi goes upward and transports the essence up to the heart, lung, head, and eyes, as well as to nourish the whole body. When the spleen functions soundly, its qi goes up normally and the essence is absorbed and distributed normally. Therefore, qi, blood, and body fluids will be abundant. If the spleen qi fails to ascend the clear and also fails to transform and transport the food, the essence cannot be absorbed or distributed, resulting in the deficiency of qi and blood. Therefore, symptoms of listlessness, dizziness, abdominal distension, and diarrhea may appear. The doctors often associate the theory of spleen's function of ascending the clear with the viscera position. If spleen qi fails to ascend or conversely sinks down, symptoms of chronic diarrhea and prolapse of the anus, stomach, and kidney will appear. The spleen can keep blood circulating within the vessels, preventing extravasation. Spleen qi plays an important role in this function. The main mechanism is actually the controlling action of qi. When the function of spleen is normal in transforming and transporting, qi and blood will be abundant. Qi will keep blood circulating within the vessels and prevent extravasation. On the contrary, when the function of spleen is abnormal in transforming and transporting, it will lead to shortage of the source for generating qi and blood. Qi deficiency can no longer control the blood circulation, and the blood may extravasate from inside of the vessels, thus resulting in bleeding. This is called syndrome of spleen failing to control the blood. It may lead to various kinds of bleeding of the lower parts of the body, such as bloody stool, uterine bleeding, and purpura. The spleen's governing transportation and transformation is the most important among the three functions. If the spleen qi is abundant, transportation and transformation will be normal, qi and blood will be abundant, 5 Zang organs will be nourished, and the functions of ascending the clear and keeping blood circulating within the vessels will be in order. Now let's go to systemic relationships of the spleen. The spleen is related to the muscle and body constituent and dominates the four limbs. The spleen and stomach are the sources of qi and blood. Only when nourished by the essence, which is transformed and transported by spleen and stomach, can the muscles be healthy. The strength of the muscles depends on the transforming and transporting functions of the spleen and stomach. When the digestive function of the spleen and stomach is normal, qi and blood will be abundant and the muscles will be strong. If the spleen and stomach are weak, qi and blood are deficient, leading to thin, weak, and atrophic muscles. Four limbs are the major tissues for sports. The four limbs demand the nutrition of essence, being transformed and transported by spleen and stomach. The transportation of essence also depends upon ascending the clear of spleen qi. Therefore, the four limbs are related to the functions of governing transportation and transformation, as well as ascent of the clear. If there is dysfunction of spleen in transportation and transformation, there will be scarce supply of nutriment to the limbs, and limbs will be tired and flaccid, resulting even in atrophy. In treating chronic spleen stomach disease characterized by weight loss or fatigue, the spleen and stomach should be invigorated and qi and blood should be replenished. The spleen opens into the mouth and shines at the lips. The spleen opens into the mouth means that diet and appetite are closely related to transforming and transporting functions of the spleen and stomach. If the spleen and stomach transport food normally, the appetite and diet will be normal. Otherwise, a tasteless, sweet, or bitter taste may appear. The color of the mouth and lips indicates whether qi and blood are sufficient. As the spleen and stomach are the resources of qi and blood, whether the mouth and lips are red or moist not only reflects the state of qi and blood, but also reflects the transporting and digesting functions of the spleen and stomach. The spleen corresponds to thinking and emotion. Thinking is one kind of emotion related to spleen. The normal thinking is not harmful to the body, but overthinking will influence the body's normal activities and cause the qi stagnation. Ascending of the spleen and descending of the stomach is the pivot for qi movement. When qi is congested, the transportation and transformation gets upset, and the action of sending up the clear is impaired, leading to anorexia, epigastric distension, and even dizziness and vertigo. Saliva is the fluid of the spleen. Saliva is the thin and clear part of the natural liquid in the mouth. It plays the role of protecting the oral mucosa and moistening the oral cavity. Saliva is secreted when one is taking in food, making it easier to be swallowed and digested. Under normal conditions, saliva is secreted into the mouth without spillage. If the spleen qi is deficient and fails to control the fluid, spillage will occur. Thus, spleen must be treated. Thank you so much for listening.